We are back. Kaylor motor. Went to Bug Performance today. Took a brand spanking new stock Sachs flywheel. Don't need any more than stock for this guy. Not at all. You know, I didn't even bother to worry about how much it cost either, so don't ask. Just went and bought it. So we're going to use the clutch disc, which is still in fine condition. Actually brand spanking new condition. I'll plunk that there. Plunk these here. Get the clutch alignment tool. To rock and roll. Okay. Guess they don't cut these circles out very square, but the actual everything looks like it's running just fine. Okay, so that's it for that. The last time I put one of these in is gonna zoom in here. This area here where my finger is had to be trimmed down a little bit because it was in the way. So I may have to do it again. So we'll see when I bring the motor. We'll see when I bring the motor over and hook it up. See if I have to do that. Looks like I got a couple bolts already. So I'm going to bring the motor over and we'll get this motor up in place. Kind of see the shiny spot there. Not sure how well focused that is. But this nice shiny spot here. So that's where it's hitting. And that's where it's binding. That's where it did before. And it's the little rivets. It's the little rivets on the far outside edge. And don't want to mess with the rivets because the rivets are holding everything together. So we need to trim this down a little bit. So it looks like I already trimmed some. And we're gonna back on out here. So I'm gonna go shut this off, go get my tool. go. Motor's in, and there we go. We are mounted in. Everything's ready to go. I got 3 bolts holding it, not 4. 3 is fine for now for what we're going to do for testing. That's all this is for. And I'm going to back this off a little bit here. I'm going to show you. My test board. It's a Kelly. Can't stand in the shade here so the sun's not blaring all over it. Kelly controller, 72 volt, 600 amp, SEPX controller that's software modified to run these motors. Got my fuse and my shunt. Basically have everything connected. This was on a test bench, testing this on a bench at 32 volts. So we'll go ahead and get this hooked up in the car and run this at a higher voltage. And I believe right now the controller's not even bolted down, so we'll unhook a couple things and get this thing in the car. I'm going to put 72 volts, which the controller is rated for, into the back seat area. And so there's a nice little view here. Motor compartment. No longer engine compartment, it is a motor compartment. This is old school stuff, and we'll see how well old school still holds up. And the controller, the motor, and the connecting components for this particular setup, not the batteries, will be for sale when I'm done. You can hook it up with lithium or lead acid if you'd like. Lead acid's not going to get you far. Lithium will. This one you can't go over 72 volts, but you could run this car on the street, cruise around town, get on the freeway, probably do some quick little jaunts on the freeway. Put 200 amp hours worth of 72 volts of lithium in this thing. Would probably do pretty good around town, and have you a nice little electric car. And but it will still be able to do freeway speed. So my old controller that was in it with this particular motor at 72 volts would push the Karmann Ghia at 62 miles an hour. There's different gearing in it. This one might be a little bit better, might be a little bit worse. We don't know. But the controller has more amperage than the other one. The other one only maxed out at about 300. This one here, we should get better than 300 out of it. It's a much bigger controller as well. And so far the controller works. My brushes down here. Not sure if you can see them or not, but if you look closely, you can see that these are split brushes, just like the Hellwig brushes that are being used for, see if we can see them over here a little bit better. Not sure, but you should be able to see down there. You can see the brush are split brushes. So this is a motor, starter generator set up from General Electric back my God. You know, this is back in the 70s. These things are probably even older than that. The other starter generators I have don't have this. Roy Kaylor told me that this particular motor is actually a good one, because this one was specifically designed as a generator and not a starter. And he said it's a lot more robust, same size, same power, but just built better. He likes them a lot, and they do fit. And it does look like these brushes are split brushes. My other motors are a little bit different. They do not have split brushes. So, like I said here, split brushes are not new. So, the Hellwig is not new in making split brushes. They're just using them a little bit differently with the little rubber tops. Mine don't have rubber tops, but they are split brushes. So I thought that was rather interesting. I wanted to get a brush from another motor to show you better, but apparently my other ones don't have a split brush, and I don't want to take these ones out to show you. Don't want to risk ruining anything by taking them out, or breaking anything by taking them out. Just going to leave them as is and run this puppy. So anyway, there was a short little quickie for you. Thought you might be interested that split brushes are not new. They have been around for quite some time. So you can even see there the split brush. You can see it a little bit better right down below my finger that it is split, not a single piece. So these are military grade built starter generators, so the quality of these things is absolutely top notch. You're not going to get any, I don't think you're going to get any better than military quality. So there you go. We're getting ready to set up for the controller, and we'll be back soon. And the last little bit here before I shut this down for the night, since it's starting to get a little cold. Noisy blasted cars. Anyway, the controller's basic connected. Got to get a fuse in the line, get the shunt hooked up so I can check the amperage, all that kind of good stuff. There's a few connectors, things like that for the controller, for different functions. There's a 5-volt, there's a TPS, so I can run a TPS, motor temperature, reverse, ground, let's see which one this is, brake, and then just the controller power for the 12 volt to the controller, and that's about it. It's pretty simple. Can't really bitch and complain about how it's set up. Everything's basically hooked the way it's supposed to be hooked. We'll probably do a low power test. Get the throttle hooked up. We're just going to do a test bench, but connected to the car before we readjust stuff and put it in. So that's our little setup here. So we need a contactor, which is the contactor most everybody else is using, and a PB6, which I've used, and it works. So we'll finish getting everything all hooked up tomorrow. Save it be raining tomorrow, which it may. Hopefully not. But if it is, I will not be able to do anything because this car is out in the driveway. So, uncovered. I have to have a tarp over it to keep it protected. So, I may end up taking this block off, shortening this piece of wood so it'll hide really well underneath the deck lid. Just kind of connect it off on the side, just to kind of hold it there for our testing purposes. And batteries will be in the back seat area. We're going to have 72 volts again, and I think that's going to be about it. But this is the project all behind me. This is the beginning, doing the Kaylor setup. Gonna send it to Roy Kaylor. He's actually interested to see this. So this is mainly for you, Roy. We're gonna test it out. We're gonna let all your fans out there with these Kaylors see what we're doing. You see what we're doing. You know that I've been doing this particular kind of controller, that I have another one in the garage that we tested earlier. Regen function and all that stuff did not work, but basically it worked. Drove the car, all that good stuff. Field weakening worked on the first one. This one is software modified, so we're not sure how well that's going to work. So far, the bench test that I did, that I have up on YouTube, the basic functions are working. We do not have field weakening. Field weakening function was turned off at the factory because of the type of motor that it is. But we can still limit the amperage. We can set it up as kind of average. We can set it up as easy, and we can also set it up as performance. So we have three amperage levels for the field to play with, and that's preset in the controller, but we get to pick. So we will probably pick the standard just for the purpose of a neutral test, and then we'll go from there. So this is it. It's evening time. Sure how evening time it is. 4:51. Sun's heading down, and we're losing our sun. So again, I showed you the motor, the bench test. With the Kelly controller, it is a SEPX controller, 72 amps, 72 volt, 600 amp, software modified. Kelly has the software modification. I got it. I can send it, but we're probably going to send it to Kelly, and they're going to make some changes, and we'll test it again. So I'll let them know what works, what doesn't work. So I have to set the brake up for this, a throttle brake. So I might use the TPS and then use my PB6 as my brake. But we got to hook up a brake setup or a brake switch. Might only need a switch. I might not even need the pot box for that. But that's what we're doing. I got to go back over the stuff. It's been a while since I've been playing with the Kelly and the Kaylor motor. So that's it. We'll talk to you later, and stay tuned because there is more to come.